Welcome back, everyone. Today's lesson is a review lesson on our simple verb tenses. Today we are talking about the simple past tense. So what is a simple past tense? The simple past tense is a completed action in the time before now, which means that it started in the past, it also finished in the past. The simple past tense is probably the most common tense that we use in the English language. When we are talking about our stories, we're talking about things that we did before. Maybe you had a birthday party and you were telling a story about that. When you read novels, a lot of the times the novels will talk about things that happened to the characters before. And just in your normal conversation, we often use the simple past tense when we are speaking. So it's very important to learn how to do it correctly. Now, when we use verbs in the simple past tense, we have regular verbs and we have irregular verbs. And how do we know if they are regular or irregular? Well, it's a little simple, but there are certain rules to follow. First, for regular verbs, they end with ed or ied. Now, most of the verbs in the English language are actually regular verbs. For example, play becomes played, watch becomes watched, review becomes reviewed, try, T-R-Y, becomes tried, T-R-I-E-D. For verbs that end with Y, change the Y to an I to ed. Now, that's a regular verb. Again, most verbs in English are regular. However, most of the verbs that we use every day, the common verbs that we use, are irregular. And how do we know they're irregular? Because in the simple past tense, the endings are not ed, they end with something else. For example, be becomes was or were. Run is not runned, it's ran. Read, the spelling doesn't change, but it's not read, it's read, read. Write becomes wrote, have becomes had, eat becomes ate. Don't write eated. So how do we know that they are irregular? Simple past tense. If it's not an ed ending, then make sure that you know this is an irregular verb. Let's review.
Simple past tense review. When do we use the simple past tense? To talk about a completed action in the time before now. How do we know if a verb is regular? Regular verbs end with ed or ied in the simple past tense. What is the simple past tense form of the regular verbs play, watch, review, try? Played, watched, reviewed, tried. How do we know if a verb is irregular? Irregular verbs do not end with ed in the simple past tense. What is the simple past tense form of the irregular verbs be, run, write, have, eat? Was or were, ran, wrote, had, ate.